Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors.
What's good, y'all boys? Welcome back again to another video. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. So look, today we're going to dive into an interesting topic, something that we've kind of touched upon before, but I saw some articles and I saw an interview that I felt like would be very interesting for us to dive into. So look, I'm sure y'all have been wondering, why have all these companies gone so woke? Is it because we're living in a more diverse and inclusive society, so we're just seeing a reflection of the people around us? Or is there another political reason behind some of the things that we're seeing? I'm talking about Bud Light with Dylan Mulvaney, and they lost all their bread because nobody was fucking with that. I'm talking about Target with all the Pride section kids clothes. Every time one of these companies do something like this, there's backlash. There's obvious backlash. People speak with their bread, okay? And they're not fucking with it. And yet we continue to see more and more and more. So the question is, why? Isn't this a state of capitalism, right? If something's not making money, why do they not do it? But instead we're seeing them double down, right? We see with Hollywood and we see with these other companies. What's going on? I found this article that dives into the why.
This morning, here's how it works. It's pretty simple. You just have to follow the money. If you take a look at BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, they manage $20 trillion worth of capital. But it's not their own money. This is the money of everyday citizens, firefighters, police officers, doctors, who generally have their money either via 401ks or, in a lot of cases, large pension funds. Large pension funds like the state of California, which manages the largest pension fund in the U.S., and the state of New York, and then European pension funds as well. And a lot of the politicians in those states, in California, for example, they recently have mandated those large pension funds that they divest from things like fossil fuels and oil and gas. And then when Bill de Blasio, mayor of New York, was there, did the same thing. But they also tell BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, if they're going to manage their money, they have to commit to things like ESG, diversity, equity, inclusion, and adopt firm-wide commitments that they therefore then force onto all the major companies in corporate America.
ESG, something that he said that stuck out. ESG, what does that mean? What are they forcing on companies? What does that have to do with anything? So we find this article right here, right? Inside the CEI system, pushing brands to endorse celebs like Dylan Mulvaney. Executives at companies like Nike, Anheuser-Busch, and Kate Spade, whose brand endorsements have turned controversial trans influencer into today's woke it girl. They aren't just virtue signaling. They're handing out lucrative deals to what were once considered fringe celebrities because they have to. What do you mean they have to? What does that mean? Or risk failing an all-important social credit score that could make or break their businesses. At stake is their CEI, Corporate Equality Index, which is overseen by the Human Rights Campaign, the largest LGBTQ plus political lobbying group in the world. So look, anytime some of these people tell you that they're oppressed, you know, what you're saying is causing harm to LGBTQ, But look how much power is behind them, okay? Look how much political power, look how much money is behind them, right? So all this crying, oh, we're victims, we're victims, we're victims. You literally have the powers that be, because these are the powers that be. The people that run the corporations, the people that can control what they do, those are the powers that be. Let's see, HRC, which has received millions from George Soros Open Society Foundation. Oh my God, George Soros. Among others, issues report cards for America's biggest corporations via the CEI, awarding or subtracting points for how well companies adhere to what HRC calls its rating criteria. Businesses that attain the maximum 100 total points earn the coveted title Best Place to Work for LGBTQ. 15 of the top 20 Fortune companies received 100% last year. Okay. More than 840 U.S. companies racked up high CEI scores. The HRC, which was formed in 1980, started the CEI in 2002. It's led by Kelly Robinson, who was named as president in 2022. What? Oh, okay. Has worked as political organizer for Barack Obama's 2008 presidential campaign. So it's very interesting. Like, okay, let's try to think about why something like this would have been started to begin with. Because racism is real, discrimination is real. There are people that discriminate in all fields of life, whether it be work or just socially, woo. So there definitely was a time where people wouldn't hire somebody, or people would not want to hire, would prefer not to hire somebody who wasn't, let's say, white. Okay, that exists. That's real. But discriminating in the workplace against someone is against the law, right? It's against the law. So I think when they started this, they seen it as like just to push it even more. Because when you look at the numbers aren't equal in the workforce. There's not an equal amount of men and women in, let's say, steel work, right? There's not an equal amount of men and women in, let's say, you know, like STEM jobs, okay? Like maybe biotechnicians, you know, shit like that. But at the same time, there's not as many men compared to women in like nursing. Because it's just different shit, you know? Men and women like different things. Oh my gosh, what a surprise. You know what I'm saying? But these people, they want to push for equity, equality. They want everything to be equal, but there's no way to make everything equal because everyone has their own individual choice. You know what I mean? And some people are just gonna be more inclined to do other things than others, right? So I'm really curious. I want to dive more into that. It probably definitely start from good intentions, but now it's like, bro, you're doing too much, bro. In 2023, like, bro, you can do whatever you want, bro. Anyone can achieve what they want to achieve if they just know how to do it and have the drive and the will and grit and luck and skill and talent. And you can do it. Let's go on. The HRC lists 5 major rating criteria, each with its own lengthy subsets. Okay, so, and here's the source for all this stuff, too. It's straight from their website. It's straight from the website. Has become a roadmap and benchmarking tool for U.S. businesses in the evolving field of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer equality. So this is specifically for gay people. It don't seem like it's really specifically for, like, let's say blacks and women and POCs, right? BIPOC. Workforce protections, 5.5. No discrimination for employment for sexual orientation or gender identity. That's what the Civil Rights Act was for. What are you talking about? Criteria here includes providing health care for sex couples, supporting an inclusive culture, including gender-neutral dress codes and trans-inclusive restroom policy, corporate social responsibility, marketing or advertising to LGBT consumers, which would include Nike and Bud Light's use of Dylan Mulvaney, and responsible citizenship. What? Points deducted if a company gives money to organizations whose primary mission includes advocacy against LGBTQ, which is not defined but could include Christian groups. Wow. Senior management executive performance measures include LGBT diversity metrics. Bro, they're literally forcing this on companies, bro. Do y'all not see that? They're literally forcing this shit. 25 points deducted from the score if they contribute. So that's what happened to Chick-fil-A then. So somehow these people with their CEI, somehow they got in a position where they could force this on corporations and companies. Because before, Chick-fil-A got flack for, I guess giving money to an anti-gay group or some shit. I don't even know exactly what it was. They said it was anti-gay, but I kind of doubt that's what it was. Probably just Christian shit. And they was getting flack from some gay people, but that's it. No one's gonna stop eating Chick-fil-A. But then recently, Chick-fil-A hired a VP of diversity, equity, and inclusion because they're pushing this CEI. They're pushing that on these companies, and so these companies, they don't want to lose a bad score because I guess people and I don't know, this shit is so weird to me, bro. Let's keep reading. A company can lose points if it doesn't fulfill the HRC's demand for integration of intersectionality in professional development, skills-based, and other training. If it doesn't use a supplier diversity program with demonstrated effort to include certified gay suppliers. James Lindsay, a political podcaster on the site called New Discourses, told the Post that the HRC administers the ranking like an extortion racket, like the mafia. It doesn't just sit back passively either. HRC sends representatives. It doesn't just sit back passively either. HRC sends representatives to corporations every year, telling them what kind of stuff they have to make visible at the company. They gave them a list of demands, and if they don't follow through, there's a threat that you won't keep your score. And okay, so what happens if your score is low? Is a lesser known part of the burgeoning ESG, environmental, social, and corporate governance, ethical investing movement. Increasingly pushed by the country's top 3 investment firms, ESG funds invest in companies that oppose fossil fuels, push for unionization, and stress racial and gender equity over merit in hiring and board selection. Okay, so a lot of the diversity and equity inclusion stuff we've been digging into if you've seen my videos. As a result, some American CEOs are more concerned about pleasing BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street Bank. Oh my gosh. who are among the top shareholders of most America's publicly traded corporations. That's what it is. They control the money, right? They control the money, and they're pushing these things on corporations, regardless of how the consumer base feels. They pushed Dylan Mulvaney. Guess what? No one was buying Bud Light. They lost so much bread. Target going through the same thing. They pushed the Pride clothing section with the little kids' clothes. Lost so much bread. And it's like, okay, who cares, right? They're acting like who cares? It doesn't matter. Because these people are behind them anyway, give them a positive score just because they did that. No matter how the people actually feel. And this reminds me of what the dude said at that meeting. We have to force behaviors. We have to force behaviors. We have to force behaviors.
We are forcing behaviors.
If people not fucking with some shit, they're not fucking with it, bro. But it's easy to try to mask this as like a positive thing. You feel me? Oh, look, they're just trying to push representation and diversity so everybody feels equal. Everybody feels like they belong, bro. The way life works, bro. With all this shit, anyone can still get a job if they wanted to, bro. Anyone can still do the things that they want to do. A lot of times, the only shit that's holding people back is themselves, bro. If I wanted to go be a scientist right now, I'd have to go to school, work hard, make sure my grades are good, and then try to find an internship and do. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to be whatever field, if I want to be a top person in that field, you just have to work hard. You have to have merit. You have to be able to have the skill to do that shit. This shit is not really pushing that. It's pushing, okay, you have to get included because we need to. We need you to. Or we're going to lose our bread. So it's not even coming from good intentions. It's coming from they're being extorted, bro. They're being forced to do this shit. This week, Mulvaney's new ad campaigns of Bud Light and Nike ruffle feathers of critics. From country star Travis Titt and Kid Rock. Yeah, that's the guy who shot the cases of Bud Light. And even Caitlyn Jenner said it's a shame to see such an iconic American company go so woke. This is outrage. That's funny. Here he is, Larry. Isn't that Larry? Larry Fink, BlackRock CEO. Boy, that's a powers that be, boy. If y'all seen You season 4 or 5, I don't know what the new one was. There's like a rich guy, and he resembles this dude. He's like a rich top powers that be type of guy. Overseas assets worth $8.6 trillion has been called the face of ESG. Isn't it funny that it's a white dude that's behind all this stuff, bro? It's a white dude that's behind this stuff. Listen, bro. When you see like these rich ass like white liberals or whatever, and this guy's probably not even a liberal for real. He's just his political belief is money. What will make him money in the long run? So what's the purpose of this in the long run? Let's read the article and then I'll see what my conclusion is. Let's see. But neither Kid Rock nor even Mulvaney are who America's top execs are trying to impress, experts say. The big fund managers like BlackRock all embrace the ESG and how they apply pressure to top corporate management teams and boards, and they determine executive compensation and bonuses and who gets reelected or reappointed to boards. Entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, who is running for president as Republican, they can make it very difficult for you if you don't abide by their agendas. In 2018, HRC President Kelly Robinson. Okay, of course, it's a black woman that was in charge of that shit. Yep. Just like how we were saying earlier, when it comes to DEI jobs, DEI managers and shit like that, it's mainly black women that go for those jobs, bro. Society is demanding that companies, both public and private, serve a social purpose. To prosper over time, every company must not only deliver financial performance, but also show how it makes a positive contribution to society. Like, it's like fake virtue signaling. Oh, yes, we all have to contribute to society. Like, bro, stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Like I said earlier, they're lobbying to companies that don't focus on fossil fuels and who try to focus more on unionization. And there's nothing wrong with unions. There's nothing wrong with that. Workers' rights, for sure. There's nothing wrong with that. Fink also let it be known that if a company doesn't engage with the community and have a sense of purpose, it will ultimately lose the license to operate from key stakeholders. This is so crazy, bro. In December, Florida pulled $2 billion worth of state assets managed by BlackRock. I think it's undemocratic of major asset managers to use their power to influence social outcomes, DeSantis said. See, that's why I fuck with DeSantis, bro. Because, bro, this shit is crazy, bro. And if DeSantis really is about what he say he is, bro, and he trying to get president, like, these people are not going to let that shit happen. That's why they already slander him now. So he's going to have to be on his P's and Q's. Fink has denied that ESG is political. It definitely is. But key staff managing his ESG operations worked in the Obama administration and donate to Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. In his first veto, President Joe Biden last month rejected a GOP-backed bill that sought to block ESG investing, especially in pension funds where Critics say American retirement funds will be sacrificed to a radical effort. Yeah, because look, they're lobbying like I said, state of New York, state of California. They operate the biggest pension funds. You're messing with people's money, the working class's money, bro. You're messing with their shit. Whoa, protesters in Paris targeted BlackRock's office there this week due to the company's role in managing and privatizing pensions, which are at the heart of the French government's recent retirement age reform. Ooh, damn, France? We might have to look into that, bro. This is like some global shit for real. Okay, Vivek Ramaswamy. ESG and CEI proponents say that adhering to social conscious values when investing in managing a company will make the world a better place. Not everyone agrees. Krefels is the co-founder of State Official Financial Office Foundation. Okay, so fighting ESG on national level because highly subjective political infiltrate all walks of life, forcing progressive policies on everyday Americans, resulting in higher prices at the pump and at the store. The problem with measures like CEI and its big brother ESG is that it introduces an incentive structure outside of the bounds of business, often in ways contradictory to fiduciary duty. Whether Anheuser-Busch was trying to cash in on Dylan Mulvaney or chasing higher CE ratings for inclusivity, the backlash will be significant. Stockholders to whom the company is obligated will feel the pinch. All right. So look, man, they're trying to force behaviors. They're trying to force these things on people. A lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to like this is a lot. This is a lot. Listen, because I'm thinking of this in terms of a story, right? Because I'm a aspiring author, so I'm thinking of this in terms of a story. The powers that be, okay? Those are the bad guys, right? BlackRock, Vanguard, those are the ones that are trying to control our lives. These are the people that are up there trying to control us down here, us regular folk. And they're going through different methods to control us. How do they control us? Through the things we buy, through the things we watch, through what we consume. What we consume, okay? I want you to watch They Live, by the way.
The feeling is definitely there. It's a new morning in America. Fresh, vital. The old cynicism is gone. We have faith in our leaders. We're optimistic as to what becomes of it all. It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism.
And, in order to do that, they're pushing things that are harmful, but they try to mask it as if it's something positive. Specifically, the main thing specifically now has been the transgender and a lot of the gender stuff that we got going on, bro. A lot of that shit is not good, bro. It's not. Okay? They're trying to get kids to transition. They're trying to get kids to be confused of their identity. Of course, there are people that suffer from gender dysphoria. Okay? That's a real thing that's been existed, right? But the fact that these people are trying to push it on kids now, they're trying to enforce it. And especially when we're in an era of the most mental health issues ever, okay? People are depressed and suicidal and men's suicide rates are up high as hell. Like, people are confused, people are lost, people don't know what to do with themselves. And then they over here with this shit trying to push this on people, and it trickles down. Especially with TikTok, they make it popular. They see, oh look, see, you could be part of this group and you could belong. You could belong to us. Woo. And it's like, all you doing is confusing people and making shit worse, making shit more complicated. There was research that showed that a percentage of mainly adolescent teenage girls, they were pretending that they had like Tourette's and another one too, I think Asperger's, because they seen people on TikTok displaying their Tourette's and talking about it, and so they wanted to get the attention that they was getting, so they just copied it too. The same shit that's happening with the transgender stuff, bro. It's the same shit. Because some of them, it's to the point where now it's like you can say that you're trans, but you don't have to even do none of the stuff that actual trans people go through. You feel me? Because they're choosing it. You know what I'm saying? Just for attention. That's when you see those dudes that act like they're women, right? They say they're a woman, but they still like fucking girls, so they're a lesbian. But it's like, bro, you just do it all. What the fuck are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Oh my gosh, bro. This is where it starts, bro. Because a lot of that shit too, and how they're pushing all the drugs and the surgeries on kids and people, there are theories that is to serve the purpose of depopulating the planet. There's too many people on this planet, right? So what do? Well, sterilize, because that's sterilizing people, bro. A lot of people's not gonna be able to have kids, bro, and a lot of people don't even be able to live a long. They're not even able to live a long time either. That's when I talk about this stuff. That's where I'm coming from. And this shit is crazy, bro. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Is there anything I missed? Or what are some other things I should look into regarding this CEI and ESG and DEI? Like, oh my gosh, bro. They coming, bro. They coming. And the regular people, regular everyday people, don't even realize any of this shit, bro. They don't realize none of this. And it makes me wonder what do some like the liberals think about all this stuff too? Like, do they just see it as just a net positive, even though that they hate corporations, they hate capitalism. The people that are pushing these things are corporations, and they are capitalists. So I wonder what to think, bro. But they don't talk about this stuff. They don't engage in it because it's too. It would align too much with their political ideological enemies, bro. So they don't talk about this shit. But hey, appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.